What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev admits that he may accept step-aside money for Anthony Joshua to take on Tyson Fury, but he badly wants the title himself. And this is what he says verbatim. He says, we have signed contracts for the fight and everything is ready. Pulev, we've worked on this contract and it wasn't so easy, but we have this contract and I am ready. I don't want to wait. I want the title fight with Anthony Joshua and I will beat him really good and get the second knockout against him. I am a mandatory challenger and these are the rules. It doesn't matter who wants to box him or he wants to box. Anthony Joshua has to box me. He says I am ready for this fight against Joshua, so I don't know. But maybe when someone comes to me and tells me something and offers me something, I say maybe. I don't know, but I want this fight. I am ready for this fight, and I believe this fight will happen this year. I've waited a long time to face Anthony Joshua. Wow. So basically, reading between the lines of Kubrat Pulev has told you, hey, I want this fight. I'm ready for this fight. I've signed this fight. I'll fight him wherever. I'll beat him really good. You know, I don't want to wait for this fight, right? And you say all that then, but if someone offers me money, maybe. You know, it's funny. It's that makes me think of what Eddie Hearn said. You know, this fight can happen. It's just a dollar amount. Everyone has it, right? And I was thinking that Kubrat Pulev wouldn't want to, but if you offer him enough money, because the money has been brought up, okay, that has been brought up for consideration. Now, we haven't heard anything from Deontay Wilder as far as turning it down, but the rumors of money has been involved to the point where it's like, hey, if it's 2 to 3 million, will they take it? And I think Pulev has heard this rumor, you know. And since he's the mandatory challenger, it doesn't really matter, you know. And I think for Pulev, honestly, it would be best for him to take the step-aside money. Why? Because if he takes the step-aside money, he gets $2 to $3 million without doing anything. He gets $2 or $3 million to wait. So you get a salary, probably not even what your salary was for your last fight. You get more than that just to sit on your ass or to do whatever, right? But to sit on your ass and wait for Anthony Joshua patiently to fight Tyson Fury. And you can get the winner. Now get this. If Tyson Fury beats Anthony Joshua, right, he still has to face Kubrat Pulev for the mandatory, right? Now, we know the problem will lie on the WBC and the IBF because, remember, Dillian Whyte has his shot no later than February. So what he would have to do, he would have to either, if that fight could happen right away, he would have to fight Kubrat Pulev later in the year. But then, honestly, it's already May. So realistically, that fight won't happen anyway. Okay? The fight with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury won't happen to probably later in the year. So he wouldn't have time to turn right back around and face Dillian Whyte. So I don't really see that happening. But if Anthony Joshua does win, he has to fight Kubrat Pulev. Right? So if he wins and becomes undisputed, he still has to fight. It's still the same thing, honestly. You know, but he eventually has to fight him or lose. Then they could probably pay Dillian Whyte or push him back because they've used him like a whore in the WBC. They've used him like a back-burning whore in the WBC. So what will end up happening? Mauricio Sulaiman will probably grant that, okay, no longer than July. Right? So he can fight the IBF mandatory Kubrat Pulev that's been waiting for how long to face each other or to face Anthony Joshua. Right? Tyson Fury, the same thing. And he's a top-ranked fighter, too. So that would be the last fight on his resume, honestly. Right? So, but they're in good. They're both with the same promotional company, both with Top Rank, and I don't see why those guys couldn't fight each other, right? So, it would be good for Kubrat Pulev. It would be good for Deontay Wilder. It would give him time to get with whoever his new trainer is, to work out the kinks, make sure all the snakes are out of his camp, so he can have the best possible advantage and put him in a position to be the best that he can be, to work some stuff out. And I think it would be good for both fighters. Take that step aside money, get the hell out of the way, let those guys fight for an undisputed fight, so then we can have a new and reigning king. Okay? That's what could happen. And winner takes all. Because if both of those guys, think about it realistically, wanted to step aside and they decided to do so, it had to come at a sacrifice. There could be no rematch clauses with that fight. It had to be, okay, the unified champion versus the WBC lineal champion come together, winner takes all. Because if it doesn't work like that, that means a lot of people have put their time and everything to the side and sacrificed that to make this fight happen. So it had to be one fight, one huge fight. Saudi Arabia, China, wherever the hell it's going to be. Okay? But it has to be done. And when it's done, it's over. Maybe they can, pick up on down the line or whatever. Or somebody has to come, go back to zero. Whatever. But it's good to see that Kubrat Pulev may be on board with taking step-aside money. It's a big thing because, again, I didn't think that he would ever do that. So if he's up for it, that means he has a dollar amount in mind to be offered money, okay? So all they have to do is act on it. Now the next thing is Mr. Bronze Bomber. Let's see if we can get him to step aside, but that's a totally different other story. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Kubrat Pulev maybe accepting step-aside money for the super fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.